Good morning or afternoon, depending when you're watching this, on a Monday that's absolutely beautiful. Clear blue skies, warming up nicely, which is one thing that seems to be happening everywhere, warming up. You know, we've had a few nice warm days, not scorching, but absolutely beautiful. And straight away we're seeing wildfires all over the country. England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales. Now, if I didn't know any better, and the way these have all cropped up all of a sudden, I would say they're probably coordinated, because that's the way it looks. One has been written off to a disposable barbecue, but that's from mainstream media, so we can't believe that, can we? But it just seems a bit strange to me. First few warm days of the year, boom, wildfires every direction. But my thoughts on what I've been seeing, what I've been looking at, listening to over the weekend. What I'm seeing is a gradual falling apart of the Labour Party at the moment. Taking a step backwards on a few things. And the so-called two-tiered justice bill, as it was labelled, that was cancelled at the 11th hour, as we know. You know, did they suddenly realise that it conflicts with the Equalities Act 2010? Because the Equalities Act would wipe out what they were saying. You know, you can't bias somebody using religion, race, colour, creed, whatever. And as he said himself, we're all equal under the law. But that would make some more equal than others, wouldn't it? I've heard that the online safety bill is going to be looked into again. That at the moment is only a rumour. I've seen no confirmation of it, but I will keep an eye out for that, because that's quite a biggie. That affects us on here. And trade deals going on all over, or lack of trade deals I should say. We've had tariffs put on us from America. Well, Comrade Starmer knows what he's got to do to sort that out, but that would be backtracking on a lot of things, wouldn't it? Giving us free speech back, because we haven't got it, as we know. You've got loads of Labour MPs stepping down. You know, you've got more and more corruption being exposed. You know, how are these people still in power? Just how, you know? And we've got another one now been arrested and suspended over alleged sex crimes again. How many of them are in that bloody gang there? You know, this is probably why they don't want the grooming gang inquiries to happen, isn't it? Obviously. It's going to implement too many of them. And the police. Don't forget there's been a few arrests up in Yorkshire by Yorkshire police of officers and ex-officers that have been allegedly involved in this. But then we got Rupert Lowe's privately funded one could happen. Paid for by crowdfunding. So that tells you when you get $500,000 in a week or two that you know the public want it. Will it expose a few things if it happens? Yes, it probably will. It might expose some real problems that many of us think are there. But there is something that they're not really saying about it. If he does go ahead with this, it will have very little legal standings, apparently, no matter what's exposed. because it's not an officially government-sanctioned inquiry. I suppose it could all be presented by the right person as evidence, but yeah, what would be found out on that would be have little legal standings apparently. And ultimately it might force the government to have one themselves, but we know that will take years, and it will give them chance to formulate cover-ups before they announce the results, obviously. They're backtracking a little bit on EVs. They're still going to ban sales of brand new diesels and petrol cars after 2030, but they're easing off on the tariffs and the amounts they've got to sell before they can sell diesel and petrol at the moment. Some smaller companies, mainly luxury cars, supercars, are being totally exempt from those figures. I've literally heard that in the last 10 minutes from a minister. So there you go, the posh ones that the millionaires can own, they'll be free from these tariffs and shit that they're going to put on them. Sales quotas, sorry. But ultimately nobody wants them. The infrastructure isn't going to be there even by 2030 for everybody to have an electric vehicle. It's impractical. People have nowhere to charge them, people have nowhere to park them. A lot of places ban them inside now, especially if they're being charged. And another setback for Rachel from accounts. A court case has already been started from some schools over national insurance hikes, and now she's got another incoming one which is being bought, I believe, by nurses. And with this pushing up unemployment, because people are going to get rid of people, it's going to cost them more than they're going to rake in. Does that sound like a chancellor that knows what she's fucking doing? Because it don't to me. And you've got Starmer and his so-called willing coalition, still provoking war, warning of war with Russia. Many giving out warnings, get an emergency kit in, you want a first aid kit, food for 72 hours. Well, 72 hours, that's more than enough time to obliterate this little fucking island of ours, so why bother doing that? I mean, they're even over the trade wars making veiled threats to Trump. That's never a good idea. Mainly over trade, but there have been one or two veiled ones that I've noticed. And on top of all that, we've got an ideology trying to take over the whole fucking world. People, we are watching literally the destruction of the world as we know it today. You can't go back to the past, as much as I wish I could, because then I could get rid of a lot of these illnesses that I've got now, which are really flaring up. That's why I haven't been doing as much content as I normally do. I just can't keep going long enough to do it, to be honest. Things are getting a bit worse, but yeah, I believe that's where we're heading. The only way this is going to stop is after everybody's wiped out, and there'll be the rich and the elites that will survive on the little bit they've collected from everybody, and once that's gone, they'll follow. Terrible thought, isn't it? But anyway, I'll leave you there today, guys. Enjoy what's left of the day, enjoy the weather, but whatever you do, as always, stay safe, stay strong, and stay free from all the fear mongering that they're putting out. Respects, guys.